Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
Imagine all the gold that humans have ever found throughout history. If we put every piece of it together, it would make a surprisingly small cube. It would not be a huge mountain or fill many buildings. This cube would likely be less than the size of a few large swimming pools. This fact shows us that gold is much rarer than many people think, making it truly precious. Gold is used in many different ways because it has special properties. Most famously, it is used for beautiful items like jewelry, rings, necklaces, and earrings. This metal shines brightly and does not tarnish easily, making it perfect for long-lasting decoration. In some cultures, gold jewelry is a very important part of traditions. Beyond its beauty, gold is very useful in technology. It is a great material for sending electricity, and it does not rust. Because of these qualities, tiny amounts of gold are put into important electronics, such as inside your mobile phone and computer. It helps these devices work well. Gold is also used in some medical tools. Astronauts even have a thin layer of gold on their visors for protection in space. Today, many governments and people are buying more gold than before. They keep it as an investment, often as gold bars in secure vaults. Countries buy gold to make their financial systems safer. When there are problems in the world, like trade disagreements or political changes, governments often see gold as a stable asset. Nations like Russia and China have recently increased their gold reserves, aiming for more economic independence and security. This book will take you on a fascinating journey, telling the complete story of gold. We will start by looking at where gold truly comes from, the stars, billions of years ago. Then we will follow its path as it arrived on our planet and how humans first discovered and used it. We will explore how this shining metal became a symbol of power, wealth, and eventually money itself, and how it fits into our modern world today. And this is only for educational purposes and is not a financial advice. 2. Gold from the stars. Gold has a truly amazing story. It does not come from Earth itself. Most of the gold we have was made far away, in deep space. This special metal is created during very powerful events in the universe. Imagine stars that are much bigger than our sun. When these massive stars reach the end of their lives, they explode. These explosions are called supernova. They are so strong that they can create heavy elements, including gold. For many years, scientists thought supernovae were the main way gold was formed. However, scientists learned more. They found another important way gold is made, when two special stars crash into each other. These stars are called neutron stars. They are incredibly dense. A small spoon of a neutron star would weigh as much as a mountain. When two neutron stars collide, it is one of the most violent events in the universe. This crash creates the perfect conditions to make gold. In 2017, scientists saw such an event. They watched a neutron star merger that created a huge amount of gold, like several Earths. This showed that these powerful star crashes might be the main source of most gold in the universe. After gold was made in space, it had a long journey. When our Earth first formed about 4.5 billion years ago, it was a hot, melted ball. Because gold is very heavy, most of it sank deep into Earth's center. So, the gold we find closer to the surface today came later. Millions of years ago, many space rocks called asteroids hit our planet. These asteroids carried gold from space. They brought this precious metal to Earth's surface during a time called the Late Heavy Bombardment. One very big asteroid impact happened about 2 billion years ago. It created a huge mark in what is now South Africa, called the Vredefort impact structure. This impact did not bring new gold. Instead, it helped make gold that was already there easier to find. The gold-rich rocks were deep underground. The giant asteroid hit Earth and pushed the crust, moving these rocks closer to the surface. This made them available for people to discover. The finding of this gold led to the Witwatersrand Gold Rush in 1886. Amazingly, about 22% of all the gold ever mined has come from this area. Gold truly is a treasure from the stars. 3. Gold in the ancient world. Humans discovered gold a very long time ago. It was special because it could be found as pure metal in nature, meaning people did not need to melt or process it. Small pieces of natural gold have been found in Spanish caves, showing its use as early as 40,000 BC. The very first worked gold objects in the world come from a place in Bulgaria called Varna Necropolis. These date back about 6,000 years, between 4,600 and 4,200 BC. A man buried there was found with a gold bracelet, gold beads, a special stick, and even a gold cover for his body part. This shows how much value gold had even in those ancient times. Gold was extremely important in ancient Egypt. Gold artifacts appeared there around 5000 BC. Later, by 4000 BC, Egyptians learned how to smelt gold. Their ancient writings, called hieroglyphs, mention gold from as early as 2600 BC. A king once said that Egypt had more gold than dirt. The oldest known map of a gold mine was drawn in ancient Egypt between 1320 and 1200 BC. Other cultures also prized gold. For the Inca people, gold was seen as the sweat of the sun. They used it to decorate their temples and to adorn their rulers. The Aztecs, from a different part of the Americas, called gold god excrement in their language, showing its divine origin and how highly they thought of it. Gold also played a big role in religion and famous legends. In ancient Greek beliefs, Thea was the goddess of gold and other gems. Chinese emperors even tried to eat gold compounds, thinking it would make them live forever, believing the metal's unchanging nature could grant eternal life. The well-known El Dorado legend started with the Muisca people in Colombia. Their chief had a special ceremony. He would cover his body with gold dust and then dive into Lake Guatavita, giving gold treasures to a goddess. This story made Europeans dream of finding entire cities made of gold in the Americas. Gold is also found often in holy books. The Christian Old Testament mentions it early on, and it was used to make parts of King Solomon's temple. In the New Testament, gold was one of the gifts brought to baby Jesus by the 3 wise men. One remarkable historical figure was Mansa Musa, the powerful ruler of the Mali Empire. In the year 1324, he went on a pilgrimage, called a Hajj, to Mecca. During his travels, he passed through Cairo, Egypt, and gave away a huge amount of gold. He distributed so much gold that it caused a big problem. There was suddenly too much gold in Cairo, and its value dropped. This led to inflation, meaning prices for other goods went up. An old historian said that the price of gold stayed very low for about 12 years after Mansa Musa's visit, showing how one man's journey could change an entire economy. 4. Gold becomes money. As human societies became bigger and more complex, the simple act of trading goods directly became very difficult. Imagine a farmer with too much corn who needed a new tool. He had to find a tool maker who, at that exact moment, wanted corn. This direct exchange, known as bartering, often did not work smoothly because people's needs rarely matched perfectly. There was a clear need for an easier, more flexible way to exchange goods and services. This need eventually led to the invention of money, a commonly accepted item that everyone agreed held value and could be traded for anything. Throughout history, many different objects were used as early forms of money. For example, cattle were often used because they were useful for food, milk, and labor. Other items included salt, barley, and even decorative shells. While these commodity monies had some practical value, they also presented problems. Live animals could get sick or die, losing their value instantly. Dividing a cow or a large bag of salt for a small purchase was also very difficult. Carrying large amounts of these goods for trade over long distances was simply not practical. Then humans discovered gold, often found gleaming in riverbeds. Gold had several unique properties that made it far superior to earlier forms of money. It was easy to work with. It could be melted, shaped, and divided into precise pieces, like small coins. Gold is also very portable, meaning a small amount could hold great value, making it easy to carry. Importantly, gold does not rust, corrode, or change over time. Its shine lasts forever, making it a truly durable and trustworthy material. These qualities made gold an ideal choice for a lasting and reliable form of money. However, gold itself does not directly fulfill basic human needs like food or shelter. Its true power as money came from a profound psychological invention: collective belief. Its value was not in its utility, but in the shared agreement that it was valuable. If everyone in a society agreed that a piece of gold was worth, for instance, a bag of grain, then it instantly became money. This widespread trust allowed people to confidently trade gold for goods, knowing that the person receiving the gold would also be able to use it for their own purchases. This fundamental understanding that an item could have value simply because everyone believed it did was the crucial step that transformed gold from a rare, shiny metal into the universal medium of exchange. 5. The age of the gold standard. In the early days of money, gold was heavy and hard to carry. So people started a new way to use gold. They would take their gold to banks for safekeeping. In return, the banks gave them paper money. This paper money was like a special promise. It meant you could always go back to the bank and exchange your paper money for a set amount of real gold. This was the start of paper money as a promise for gold. By the early 20th century, many powerful countries used a system called the gold standard. Under this system, the value of a country's paper money was directly linked to gold. For example, a country might promise that every $1 bill was worth a specific amount of gold, say 1 ounce. This gave people confidence in their money. They knew that their paper bills were as good as gold. If they wanted, they could always trade their paper money for physical gold at the bank. However, this system had its downsides, especially during difficult economic times. When there was a financial panic or crisis, people would often lose trust in banks. They would rush to exchange all their paper money for gold. These events were called bank runs. They could quickly drain a bank's gold reserves, causing banks to fail and the economy to suffer even more. The Federal Reserve System, created in 1913, tried to manage these issues. It was a central bank that aimed to keep the financial system stable. But even the Federal Reserve was limited by how much gold it had. The biggest challenge for the gold standard came during the Great Depression in the 1930s. The economy was in a very bad state. Many people lost their jobs and money. Banks were failing. Most experts today believe that the government should have printed more money and lowered interest rates to help the economy. But because of the gold standard, the government was afraid. If they printed too much paper money without enough gold to back it, people might lose all trust and demand their gold, causing the system to collapse. Instead, they raised interest rates to protect their gold. This action made the Depression even worse and made people suffer longer. To get the country out of this deep economic crisis, President Franklin D. Roosevelt took a very strong step. In 1933, he signed Executive Order 6102. This order made it against the law for American citizens to own gold. People had to give their gold coins, gold bars, and gold certificates to Federal Reserve banks. In exchange, they received paper money. After collecting a lot of the nation's gold, the government then changed the official price of gold.
This gave the government more control over the money supply.
It could now print more money to help the economy grow without being directly tied to how much gold private citizens held. This was a major change in how money worked in America. 6. A new kind of money. For a long time, money in the world was tied to gold. This system was called the gold standard. But on August 15, 1971, a big change happened. President Richard Nixon of the United States announced that the U.S. dollar would no longer be exchanged for gold. This decision ended the gold standard. It was a very important moment for money globally. After this, a new type of money called fiat money became common. Fiat money is not backed by gold or any other real object. Its value comes only from people's trust in the government that issues it. People believe in this money because the government says it is valid, and everyone agrees to use it. This was a big change, moving from money backed by something real to money backed by belief alone. With fiat money, central banks like the Federal Reserve in the United States gained new powers. They could now create money electronically. They did not need gold in a vault for every dollar they added. With simple computer commands, they could put more money into the system. This power seemed almost like magic compared to older ways. Central banks use this power to help the economy. If the economy is slow, they can create more money and lower interest rates. This makes people and businesses borrow and spend, which helps the economy grow. For example, during the 2008 financial crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic, central banks created much money to prevent major economic problems. This new system has good and bad parts. A good thing is that it makes the economy more flexible. Central banks can act fast to stop big economic crashes and help with recovery. Many believe this has helped avoid new Great Depressions. However, there are also problems. Some worry that central banks have too much power. They create money without being elected. This can cause inflation, meaning money buys less over time. The U.S. dollar has lost much of its buying power since the Federal Reserve began. Critics say creating money from nothing can make it unstable and hurt savings. This change greatly reshaped how economies work and how people view money's worth. 7. Gold as an investment today. Gold today is not money in the way it used to be, but many people still buy it. They think it is a safe place for their money, especially when the economy is bad. Governments also keep lots of gold. They see it as a very important reserve that no other country controls. It helps people trust their country's money, and it is a way to have financial safety. Gold is also a special material for jewelry and industry, but mostly people buy it as an investment. People often ask, does gold really protect your money during hard times? The idea is that when other investments like stocks go down, gold should go up. Sometimes this happens. Gold has gone up in many bad times for stocks.
But sometimes gold and stocks both fall. So, gold is not always a perfect safe place. Also, gold does not always keep your money safe from inflation, which is when prices rise. Over many, many years, gold holds its value, but in shorter times, its price can change a lot. When you buy gold, you choose it instead of other investments. For example, you could buy stocks, which are parts of companies. Stocks have grown much more than gold over many years. If you put $10,000 in gold in 1985, it would be worth about $92,000 today. But if you put the same money in many large companies, S&P 500, it would be worth more than $400,000. Gold does not pay you interest or company profits, so its value only changes with its price. Now there is a new idea called digital gold, like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is similar to gold in some ways. There is only a limited amount of it, and no government controls it. Many younger people are interested in Bitcoin. It is easy to send anywhere in the world and can be divided into very small pieces. But Bitcoin's price can change very, very fast. One day, its price can go up or down 20%. This makes it a risky investment for some. Many people now have both gold and digital money in their investments. Gold still has a special place because it is real and has been valuable for thousands of years. 8. The future of gold. Gold has had a very long and interesting journey. It began far away in space, created by powerful events like exploding stars and colliding neutron stars. Later, it arrived on our planet millions of years ago, carried by asteroids. Humans discovered gold early on, using it for beautiful jewelry, important religious items, and as a symbol of power. For many years, gold became money, and countries used a gold standard. But this system ended.
Now, gold is no longer official money, but people around the world still value it greatly. They buy gold as a safe investment, hoping it will protect their money during hard times or that its value will grow. Today, governments and their central banks keep large amounts of gold. This might seem strange because money is not backed by gold anymore. However, central banks see gold as a very important asset. Gold does not depend on any other country or bank, so it is a truly independent store of value. It acts like an insurance policy for a nation's wealth, giving it safety during global economic problems or political tensions. Countries like China and Russia have been actively buying more gold. They want to strengthen their financial systems and have more control over their own money, reducing their reliance on other currencies. What does the future hold for gold? Technology may bring new ways for us to use gold in electronics or medicine. Scientists are also working to find new ways to extract gold from places we cannot reach now.
An exciting but difficult idea is space mining. Some asteroids in space are believed to contain huge amounts of gold. If humans could learn to mine these asteroids, it could bring so much gold to Earth that its value might change very much. This could make gold much less rare than it is today, changing its role in our world. Gold's story is a reflection of human history itself. It shows our dreams for wealth, our fears about money, and our desire for something lasting. Gold has kept its special place for thousands of years because it is beautiful, does not tarnish, and is hard to find. It connects us to our past. Even as new digital money like Bitcoin becomes popular, gold still holds a unique position. It represents a tangible asset in a world that is becoming more digital and abstract. What do you think? Will gold always be a symbol of lasting value, or will new ideas and discoveries change its importance forever?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.